Good morning, Gilbert, and thank you for uh, inviting me to your conference. And maybe we can put the slides up on the screen, and then we can share with folks as we go. So what you can see on the screen here is an aerial picture of the La Parrilla mine. This was First Majestic's very first mine, and they built a $2 billion business off of this mine. They used the cash flow from this very profitable mine to buy other mines and grow larger. This is still a very good mine. It produced an average of 3.5 up to 4.5 million ounces per year for First Majestic. And under our ownership, we intend to put it back into production within the 18 to 24 months at 3 to 3.5 million ounces per year. And can we go to slide number 4? So there's, and we talked about, on the far left, we talked about the near-term restart opportunity. The second column, there's excellent infrastructure in place. You saw the aerial picture. If we had to build this today, it would take a year of permitting, another year of financing, and 2 years of construction to build this 2,000 ton per day mill. That's 4 years, and we have all of that right now. Very modest restart capital, single-digit millions. And third column, how does shareholders win? Well, with the drill programs that we have underway, we're drilling 7,000 meters right now, and we'll follow that up with another 10,000 meters of drilling. And next year, at the end of next year, last quarter, we will do the technical studies for the restart of the mine, and then we'll restart the mine in 2025. There's additional opportunity. Our San Diego deposit is one of the largest undeveloped silver projects in Mexico. It has over 210 million ounces of silver equivalent resource. And if it was at surface, it would have been mined out by now by a major. And so there's an opportunity to advance San Diego as we go along. We've had very good drill programs at San Diego from 2021 and 2022 when we took over the project up until now. But now the main focus today of the company is to get La Parrilla back into production, and then we'll follow up with additional work with San Diego and La Parrilla. Next slide. Our largest shareholder is First Majestic with 41%, and then Eric Sprott and owns about 10%, and then management, largely myself, owns the other 3.5%. We have over $7 million in the bank, and we have zero debt. Our current market cap is 40 million Canadian dollars. Next slide. You can see some of the management team. I will focus in here on Calense Flores. Calense is a mining engineer. He was the second in command at the First Majestic San Dimas mine. He's had many senior roles in operating mines with Endeavour Silver, Mandalay, Nearstar, and Coeur. And he used to run this mine. So his family actually lives nearby. So he wanted to come back home and run this mine, and so that he could also be closer to his family. Next slide. Silver is one of the most, it is the most conductive metal, and it's used extensively in solar panels that are made in Asia and around the world. And the higher quality solar panels use more and more silver. You can see that there's been a big deficit in silver in 2022, and that deficit will continue. It's anywhere from 100 to 200 million ounces per year deficit. Next slide. And our second asset, La Parrilla, is also in Durango State and very close to Durango City, where most people live. Okay, next slide. This is another view of the La Parrilla mine. Next slide. This is our resource. There's 15 million ounces of silver equivalent. This is a resource put out by a third-party external geological consultancy, SRK, and that was put out in August. There are in addition to this 15.5 million ounces, there's another 3.8 million ounces in pillars. And of course, our drill program will add additional ounces. When First Majestic shut the mine down, they had a 3-year mine life, and we will continue to add to that 3-year mine life with our drilling. We would like to get closer to 5-year mine life at a 3 million ounce per year run rate, and then we will turn the mine back on. Next slide. Here you can see that there are 5 underground mines. We're focusing our drilling, our 7,000 meters in Quebradillas, which is second from the right. You can see the Quebradillas underground, and then we'll do another 3,000 meters at Rosario's Carpo, 340, and then we'll do 1,000 meters at San Marcos. Next slide. Okay, here you can see that you can see in the blue, this is the development of the development of the ramps and the development of the access points, and you can see the green lines is our drill holes that we're drilling off existing infrastructure and existing development, so that when we add tons, that will go directly into the mine plan that we will be doing in 2024. Next slide. More of the same. The resource is open on strike and at depth. The green lines show where we're drilling, and the blue shows the access points. Next slide. Again here, this is looking at San Marcos. We're doing 1,000 meters of drilling here. It's the same story. Drill below existing stopes and existing ramps and access, so that when we get drill results, the resources that come onto the books can be added right into a mine plan, and then we'll extend the mine life. Next slide. Okay, so this is what we've achieved. In August, we completed the acquisition of La Parrilla. In August, we on the far left, we put out the initial resource estimate by SRK, and we also completed a $7 million financing at that time. In the middle column, we are currently doing our 7,000 meters of drilling, which I gave you a quick overview of. And then in 2024, we'll be really focusing on the mine restart planning. Also in 2024, we'll do a second phase 10,000 meter drill program and formalize some of the technical studies needed to restart the mine. Next slide. There. On the left side, you can see the geological model when we took over the San Diego deposit in 2020. We had a very large Fernandez zone, over 200 million ounces of silver equivalent there. And you can see that we're able to cut in there with hole 2157. And we also found near to surface what looks like an open pit. And that's, you can see the top of hole 2157. That just gives right above the Fernandez zone, we discovered what we think is an open pit. And so the plan here is to continue following up on this. Once we get some cash flow coming from La Parrilla, we'll be able to work here even more. It's a very large resource, and there's opportunities to I can't say too much about it, but there's opportunities to work with some much bigger companies to advance this one. Okay, next slide. I just want to go into the appendix. I want to go back to La Parrilla, but if you scroll down to the appendix, Basically, LAARA was very successful. They generated a lot of cash flow from LAARA, and we'll put it back into production at the 3 to 3.5 million ounces per year and generate 20 to 25 million US of cash flow. The capex to put it back into production is very small. It's like single-digit millions, and it's essentially ready to go. We have some drilling that we have to complete and some technical planning for the restart, and then we'll be ready to go. I think I'll stop there and take any questions.
Great. There's a few questions here. Let's go from Angela. You here. Let me translate this here. He's asking, how much resources do you expect to increase from LAARA's drilling activities?
So there's 15.5 million ounces on the SRK report. First Majestic had 22 million ounces on their internal 43-101 to put a 5-year mine plan back together so that we can restart the mine.
Okay. The next question is asking, do you still need further financing to get this project into production?
Yes, we'll need some money at some point in time, but we can do that through off-takers. Yeah, single-digit millions we'll have to raise to put the mine back into production.
This question asking about San Diego project. So when will you update your resource estimate? What's the planning there?
So the planning, the work plan for San Diego is really dependent on the resources that we have. It's already a very large resource, over 200 million ounces. So we don't really need to add more ounces on a 43-101. It's more, can we find near surface mineralization? Can we follow up on that open pit? And we think we can, and that would be the focus there. Other things being equal.
Great. Final question from Flynn is asking, what do you think about the silver price next year? What's your thoughts on that?
We think that the silver price is going much higher. We've seen a big deficit on one of the slides we showed. There's a 200 million to 100 million ounce deficit of silver, and with all the green electricity, solar panels, they need more and more silver to be more and more efficient, because silver is the best conductive metal for electricity. So we can see easily a $30 to $40 silver price in the near term.
Thank you, Craig, for answering all the questions here today. Thank you for your time with us.
And thank you.